Hi and welcome to The Legacy Architect. I am Maria Isa and I help professionals like you craft undeniable offers and build an undeniable legacy. So today, my series is called I Remember When. So I want to take us a little back because sometimes on our journey we forget how far we've come. So I want to share a little bit of what I went through or what I experienced so that you can see how easy it is for you to tap into your strengths and bring them to the forefront in terms of leveling up as well as leveraging yourself into opportunities. So, this was a corporate experience. I am not going to say their names because no brand deals, but if you do follow me on other platforms, you might have an understanding or a good guess as who it could be. So this was many years ago. I'm going to say over a decade because it really was over a decade ago. I joined this corporate organization in quarter four. And the first thing I do, which is all the time when I join somewhere new, is I observe for a couple of months. I may ask a few questions here and there, but first things first is always to observe, because in observing, you get to understand processes, you get to understand who the stakeholders are, and you also get to see what opportunities are available without, the noise, right? Without everybody telling you where they are, you get to see for yourself when you are quiet and just observing. You might find people might say, oh, it's best to talk up quickly first so that people know you. But if you're talking and everybody else is talking, how do you actually get to see the opportunities? So I was observing the first few months, and there was a monthly meeting that was held and hosted by a different employee, which I thought was amazing because number one, you get to know who the different employees are. And as the employee who's hosting, you get to understand the numbers behind the performance of the organization. And in knowing that, you would obviously need to engage with different stakeholders in order to get that information to prepare for this meeting. So I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. How do I get myself onto this platform? Because this would be, number one, a fast track way of me being known in the organization, because there was also other people dialing in for these reviews, but also a great way for me to meet other people quite quickly, as opposed to doing just onboarding and introductions, and what else, those inductions as well. You meet people quickly when you put yourself in positions or opportunities that allow for you to engage with different people. So early quarter four when I joined. By December, there was an opportunity. Well, it was made known that you could choose a month, and then following year that you wanted to host. So I was there like real fast. As soon as I heard it, I ran. I did not walk. I ran to go put my name down because I had a month in mind. And this month in mind, I already knew what I wanted to do in that space. I already knew how I wanted to show up that day. I knew. I had already written it all, like in my head, in my mind's eye. Everything was set up. I just needed to book that day. That month. So when that opportunity came, I ran. I did not walk to put my name down. I don't know if you can guess which month I chose. I don't know. Can you guess what month I chose? I'll wait a little bit so you can just probably, think like, what month would Maria choose? That she would now want to razzle dazzle people, because yes, I want to razzle dazzle people every single time I can. Like, that's just what I want to do. It gives me such joy to do so. So I chose February. Yes, unashamedly so. It's the month of love. There's just so much you can do with it. So when I was preparing for that meeting, obviously engaged with different stakeholders to prepare for the presentation. But in my mind's eye, I wanted that room, that meeting room that we all come in on a Monday morning, because these meetings normally happened on a Monday morning, that it would feel transformed. It will definitely make people feel like I can get on with the rest of the day after this meeting. That was my goal, and I believe I achieved it. So that Monday morning, I went to the venue, made sure everything was ready, and then I went to collect the items that I knew would just take it to that different level and provide a different experience. So I went to go get red, white, I think they might have been pink, but red, white. I think there was red and white helium balloons because I wanted the whole ceiling covered with helium balloons. And I had brought cupcakes that I had I baked those cupcakes the day before. So my whole Sunday, the day before, I was baking red velvet cupcakes. Jeez, my English is going. My red velvet cupcakes. And can I just tell you a little secret? I didn't know how to bake these red velvet cupcakes before. Not in a million years. I did not know. But that Sunday, I went to the store. I got all the ingredients. I'm like, today, I'm going to bake these. And I baked them. And I tasted them. And they were amazing. But I didn't know what I could do until I did it. So I did it. Now I knew. Now I know. So after that, obviously the next day, I even went to buy these lovely bamboo trays, which I now served these cupcakes on. So when I got into work, they were literally covered in these. I put a plastic over it and carried these cupcakes into the venue. When everybody came in, just seeing their expressions enough, I was already I was elated. I was like, yes, this is the exact response that I wanted. Before I even started the meeting, people were smiling. People were like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Because I noticed no one really does anything, visually for these meetings. You get some breakfast, but in the atmosphere, we want to change that. We want to give it that something, or as a South African say, that's something, So that's what I wanted, and I believe I achieved that. The meeting went well, and what that helped for me was now people, number one, who knew who I was. So I had only been in the company less than 6 months at that point, but by that February, everybody knew who I was. They knew, and I presented well, so people were just like, wow, it's like, how long have you been in the company? I'm like, I joined last year this time, and they were like, wow, so quickly, and you're already presenting. Jeez, you really know your stuff. Because no one knows until you show them what they need to know. A couple of weeks later, I remember a lady came up to me saying, oh, do you remember those cupcakes you came in with? And I was like, yes, I do remember. And she was like, well, I would like to know the number of the person you ordered from because I need to make an order for someone this weekend. And I looked at her and I was like, well, I'm the one who made them. And she's like, seriously? I'm like, yes. So you baked all of that? And I'm like, yes, I did. The Sunday before, I had prepped. That was just literally my Sunday baking. And she's like, number one, they were amazing. I didn't know you could bake. Honestly, neither did I. I knew I could bake. I just didn't know I could bake red velvet cupcakes. But now I know. And she was like, I know I can't ask you this because obviously it's too late notice, but, well done. And, those were really great. And I'm like, thank you. So not only was I known in the company, people knew that I could bake. So when you talk about legacy, or when we talk about legacy, it's not about when you leave a certain place and you're going to start now from a place of, this is my last hurrah. Your legacy is in everything that you do. In fact, I read somewhere from someone, so I don't want to take it that this is my own thing. I literally read this and I was like, this is exactly it. Your legacy is in everything that you do. It's in everything that you touch. It's in every conversation that you have. So you don't want to start thinking about, oh, this is something that I can think of for later. It starts now. Your legacy is how you show up differently. It's how you impact people. It's how you influence people. It's how you imprint on someone. And if we think about that much later than now, I can only imagine the amount of opportunities that you miss and the amount of people who needed your expertise that don't get to have it or don't get to experience it. So today, I want you to consider, what legacy is it that you want to build? And don't think about building it later. Now is the time to do so. So if you want any more information about this, be sure to click that subscribe button and the bell so that you can find out what more I can help you with in building your legacy.